It baffles me how many people think that they're bigger than they actually are. What do you like? What puts you in a position to be successful? If I didn't have the passion for the game, I wouldn't do it. Too many people want to be something versus recognizing what they are. And it's the people that understand themselves first that are winning. The second can think of something that they're not good at, that isn't noble, that they're a bad person in a second that they know they haven't addressed yet with themselves. That's intriguing. That's the beginning of the process. Really talked about in our space that I want to start building more attention for. Self-awareness. I want to deliver on this message so much. I would create a test or a drug that allowed people to become self-aware. One potion inject, not hustle, not smart, self-awareness. I don't fear being self-aware. I know I suck at a lot of stuff. I think everybody lies to themselves. Some people are meant to be B and C players. And I'm pissed that the narrative now is that you need to be a number one and have your company, because a lot of people are gonna lose or leave money on the table because that's just the narrative. I'm such a positive guy. I struggle to think about the things I'm bad at, but self-awareness requires understanding both and then choosing which path you want to go through. I'm a big fan of going all in on your strengths and don't give a fuck about what you suck at. Self-awareness isn't only just betting on your strengths, it's accepting all your shortcomings. Your skill set is such an important part of this. Too many people try to be like me because it's sizzly and it's sexy and people want to be charismatic and on stage. So many of you do so many things better than I do. You can look at how people roll and it's great to admire and things of that nature, but it's so damn important to stick to your DNA. Try to get to a place where you understand yourself and understand what your strengths are. You've got to find your self-awareness. All your shortcomings are there for a reason. They're there to also allow you to be great. Deep in your brain, deep in your heart, you actually accept all those shortcomings is the second your life goes on the offense. Because then you're not gonna bullshit yourself. You're gonna storytell yourself, you're gonna motivate yourself, but you're not gonna bullshit yourself. And once you believe that, either for yourself or someone else told you, go directly all chips, all into that. We've all got something, and you just need to accept what's yours and go in on that. Then you've got a starting point to success. And so self-awareness at its finest is accepting your shortcomings and accentuating your strengths. Well, look, let's really answer, Peter. I think the reason I'm not is because I want to buy the New York Jets. And when I turn 30, that's the truth. The real reason is because I want to buy the New York Jets. And on my 30th birthday, 10 years ago, I was driving to Wine Library. I looked myself in the rearview mirror and I said, you are full of shit. There is nothing you're doing over the last 5 years that is putting you anywhere close to a position to buy a $1 billion sports franchise. So you, mister, on this glorious 30th day, better decide. I think I do well is I make everybody feel safe. And so that's really important to me, because when you make people feel safe, they start telling you the truth. I really, really, really believe the thing that's holding people back is the romantic version of who they think they want to be or who they think they are versus who they actually are. Just because it's cool to be a startup founder now doesn't mean that's what you need to become. Mark put on a hoodie and a movie came out and Instagram made $1 billion after 500 days and everybody decided they were an entrepreneur. I fully 100,000% with no hedge do not believe that you can teach entrepreneurship. I'm a humongous believer that ideas are shit and that execution's the game, right? We've all got ideas. Everybody's got ideas. Do you know how many fucking ideas we all have here? We could probably sit here for the next 2 hours, draw them all out, record them, and predict the next 78 great startups over the next 9 years. And you also have to think about what are you good at. I built a very unsexy business in the height of where I was and the game, because I was self-aware that that was gonna be an engine for me over 10, 20, 30 years, when it could have been a lot sexier to raise $50 million and play with the 14 ideas I have, but I know who I am. You can't just say it. You know how many people in here that I know intimately say they're hustlers, and then I watch because I'm curious, and they're just not? So you can't just say you want to go up there, because if you're gonna go there, you're gonna have to look a lot of shit in the face that you're not gonna like. If you do not have self-awareness, which is what I do think I have, and I think a lot of people don't have it, The only way you can gain it is by getting other people to give you the data points. But most people won't tell you the truth. So it's on you to create an environment, a very safe environment, for somebody to tell you the truth. This is the most important question I will ever ask you in my life. You need to tell me the truth. My intuition is you're not gonna wanna tell me the truth, but you have to understand I'm okay with it. I'm in the right mind space for this. I need the truth. And then you ask them, what do they think you're good at and bad at? Of what they truly think you're good and bad at, and then gather that data. A lot of people don't want to recognize what they're good at, or don't want to accept that they're bad at something. And so, I don't think people are honest with themselves. There's a lot of things I wish I was, but I just don't lie to myself. And I think lying to yourself has held back the far majority of this room from bigger upside. The amount of people in the market that claim to be something they are not, because what they're reverse engineering is that's where the money is the biggest reason so many people lose. You just can't fake who you are. You can't manufacture it. You can't want it. So many people in here want to be business coaches and they've never built a fucking business. I'm worried about people that are following the current trend instead of following the only thing that they actually are. That's why it's working for me, because I haven't wavered regardless of what you guys gave a fuck about. And guess what? Entrepreneurship's not gonna be cool one day soon too. And let me promise you the quickest way to win. And I don't mean money, I mean win. Playing in a way that feels right to you before it feels right to anybody else around you. And I promise you that the majority of you are not. Who do we cherish and who do we put on pedestal? The people that from the get punted everything else and went full-pledged themselves. When you are all in on your shit, and we now live in a world where the internet creates niche communities around every fucking thing you could ever imagine, that is an unbelievable blessing to all of us that our grandparents didn't have an opportunity in. Most of you are chasing fucking money and you're gonna fucking lose. I hope you think about what are you good at? Or what's the truest essence of who you are? Because those are the only two things that create the upside that people chase. The people that hustle the most are the happiest, not the saddest. And the reason I push hustle so much is because it feels like the most fucking controllable thing to change the outcome of what disappoints you. Like my PR people and all my managers and handlers are really pissed at me because they're like, why are you spending 15 minutes doing these blogs that have 6 readers, you know, every single day, and you're passing on the stuff that we're giving you to be on CNN or New York Times? I still, even today, am as happy and sometimes even more excited to be on a podcast or a video blog that's only gonna reach 100 people, because I'm always about depth versus width. Do you wanna go wide or do you wanna go deep? I want to go deeper with my community. I want to give back to people that were fans of me. And so even today, where I have more leverage than I did 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years ago to get bigger platforms, some of the work that so many people are impatient and not willing to do. Are you willing to take 10 minutes to get 195 views? I am. I don't know who you think you are. You've not gotten the exposure yet. When you have not made your name just yet, when you're still making the climb, when you're not paying attention because nobody else is, because 217 people are watching the video, I'm grinding when you're sleeping. I did those 87s and 59s and 137s and 813 views day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, and continue to. You might make a video on somebody's video show that has 89 viewers, but one of those 89 viewers may be a producer at CNN or might be the CFO of a big company that you're trying to reach. And so undervaluing just that one view, it needs to be the right view, but it's one view, is a humongous mistake. It's about having the humility. It's about not saying no, even when you've made it. All the other noise, you know, especially in a world where people are gonna always tell you about your shortcomings. Like if you're not your #1 fan, you've lost, because the market's really good at tearing you down. Easier to do what, you know, to be somebody who's got confidence or oomph or is looking for something that may seem, you know, disproportionate because they know the 40 years they put into, 20 years they put into work. If I'm sitting on a couch and I'm like, oh, that athlete thinks they're so fancy, I wasn't there for the last 22 years. should almost, especially the way I communicate and how competitive I am, almost everybody should be like, who do you think you are? But I also know why I feel like I can do that, because I only give advice I take for myself. I lack any hypocrisy. I'm telling you things that I do for myself. I'm telling you to be patient, I'm patient. You're just catching me at 40. Catch me at 22 when I'm bagging ice. Catch me at 25 years old when I'm already got stuff going on and I'm carrying boxes. Really easy for me to tell you, like, be patient. You know, like, or anybody. Something right now, getting a little bit on a bigger plane. What's happening right now is the small minority of people that are mad and angry and hateful and dark are much louder than the big percentage of us that are happy and excited and feel great. And because of the way technology works, they are much louder than they've ever been before. If you leave with anything for any of us, please take on the sense of responsibility that if you've got good and you feel good, to start sharing that content as well, because the world needs more of it. How secondary pure talent is to people skills. This notion that some creative is so fucking special that they can be a douchebag and fuck up the entire place is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I'm very unpopular in tech land. I did it again at South by where I was like, fuck Steve Jobs. I don't want to run a business where being mean brings the best out of, I don't give a shit if you're a creative genius. Fucking act like a normal person, you asshole. I believe continuity trumps everything. Continuity, you know, it's just like sports. A team that stays together usually beats a team with superstars that were put together for one season. My friends like live for Friday night. Yeah. Like they know they get the week, like Monday morning's the worst. It's just a huge percentage of one's life. I can't wrap my head around with the internet. This is not your grandpappy's life. We have the internet. You can make shit happen. You can build businesses or side hustles. I just don't understand why people relegate into losing mentality and just thinking they can't. You can't because you want to be on the bowling team or softball or play video games. That's why you can't. There's plenty of time, get shit done. The level of complaining is unacceptable. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you you died this week? Would you complain about your crap job or that test you don't want to take? I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're begrudging what you're about to do, if you're not looking forward, please recognize the world we're living in. We're living in a world where there's so much more opportunity. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us, way more. I mean, look, you might not even be alive. Like, your mom and dad could have had sex like 3 minutes later and you wouldn't even exist and you're complaining. You could have ended up being a bus, a tree. I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I wanna do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please, take a step back and think about how awesome it actually is. And then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way because you were lucky enough to be born during this era. If people focused on what they dominated at and not tried to be something else, they would win. Trying to win and not being scared and not fearing that loss because of others, not yourself.
I want to be where you are. I've got...
What's blocking you?
I don't know.
Other people's POV?
Yes.
Everybody here doesn't like losing because they're worried what other people think about their loss. Yep. That's the #1 thing that holds people back. I've met hundreds of people that have left their jobs making good money when they had college debt, 18% compounded interest, because they needed their mental health to be happy and they were willing to take a step back, and in a 7-year period, they won. Because happiness drives everything. You collectively are not patient enough. Your lack of patience is killing you. And your need of things is killing you. You need to be happy. One fucking at bat. Go spend more time with 80 and 90-year-olds. You know what? And I think 3 of you will do this. This is why I'm giving this advice. Go do something I did a long time ago when I was charting my thing. Why don't you go do some public service and go to a nursing home and help. 4 hours of your life. Go there to be selfish for you, not because you're a nice person you're helping. I went because I was selfish. I wanted to hear what the common themes were. And the only thing was, did they do what they wanted to do versus not? I'm the happiest because I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Get the fuck out of the machine for a second and think about what you're doing here. You're gonna die. You get one chance. You got so lucky. Do you know the math behind being a human being? Fucking won the lotto. They regret. They talk about regret. I wish is the opening line. Hey man, tell me about your life. Literally, I wish. One by one at airport, park or park, event or event, bar or bar, every one of them, all of them started with, I wish. All of them. I wish. They grew up in a generation that did not have the internet. It was not practical to do all the amazing things we could be doing. They all wished. They wished they worked harder. They wished they spent more time with their family. They wished they didn't listen to their mom and did what they wanted to do. They wished. The biggest poison in us is regret. It's poison. And I push so hard, and will, through my vehicle, which isn't meditation, which isn't health and wellness, which isn't nonprofit. My vehicle's business. I can't help it. It's what I love. I love building businesses. I love competing with you. I want to beat you. I love that game. But through that vehicle, I will always push a lack of regret and awareness to how good it really is. You're more than welcome to tell me about how bad it is or why you can't, because, or what, but it's just not true. Because if anybody ever did it, then you can too. Stop making excuses. Stop complaining. Nobody's listening. They may pretend they're listening. The market doesn't care. What you need to do is make one person happy, you. Then you can make everybody else happy. You know why I like making people happy? Because I'm already happy. And so I implore you to take this last little rant and really look at your fucking face and understand, are you doing the things that are putting you in a position to succeed? Not just in a business world, but in life. Because it's super important, because boy, when you're happy in life, your fucking business can roll. And so I'm just trying to figure it out. And I've been trying to figure it out in front of you for the last 7, 8 years. Trying to figure out the unlocks. EQ, IQ, self-awareness, hustle. I don't know what they are. You know why? Because like I told my man, it's 330 different unlocks. And so I'll go to all of them. They're all tried and true. And one might hit you. Yeah, it was hard work because I'm actually lazy. I talk a good game, but I'm full of shit. Or it might be something else. But fuck, one. And so,
I'm back here.
you decided to sit? You're into this, right? It's good, right? This is some good shit. You're gonna remember this?
I did.
Good. One fucking life. One life, my friends, one time. And honestly, I'll leave you with this because a lot of you need it. How you make your money is more important than how much you make.